Hello everyone, I am Gautam Sodi and you all are live on SportsWiki. Well, 2 games, 2 different results, but the intent hasn't changed. After Angelo Matthews inspired his side to beat India the other day, for sure, hopes must have shattered, but not demised. As they say, cricket is a game of glorious uncertainties. Writing the defending champions off would be a mistake. Today, on June 11th, the clash of the titans is upon us. It's India versus world number 1 side South Africa taking on each other in their last group stage match at the Kia Oval in London. Well, as the Champions Trophy is approaching its business end, things have started to look a more meeker. To join the discussion, we have alongside the former India wicket-keeper batsman, Mr. Vijay Dahiya. Mr. Vijay Dahiya, thanks for joining us on SportsWiki.
My pleasure.
Well, before we jump on to the big conclusion, before the talk about the India-South Africa match, India lost to Sri Lanka in a less fashionable manner. That was disappointing.
I think I'm not surprised at all the way the result came out. What a little disappointing is the ease in which Sri Lanka has won that game. If you remember their game against South Africa as well, they were very much in the game when they started their chasing. They missed the experienced player in the middle order. That's why they couldn't finish it. Captain Angelo Matthews coming back, playing a very vital knock, and made it look so easy. And that's what they were missing in the first game. Like I just mentioned, the 320 was a big score. And Indian team will be very disappointed. And, they had things in their hand. Now they'll be feeling the heat because they'll be meeting South Africa, who lost their last game as well. So it'll be a knockout sort of a thing. And South Africa is a dangerous side. So India will definitely feel the pressure.
Well, talking about the disappointment, you as a player, you as an expert, what disappointed you the most?
Like I just mentioned, you had, with that kind of start, you wanted 10-20 more on the board. But if you don't go back, don't revisit that topic, 320 was still, I feel, was a good enough total. And let's talk about another thing that we said in the beginning of this tournament, that our bowling looks better than our batting. And runs on the board, and still, we couldn't contain them. We couldn't get the victory, the desired result that we wanted. Somehow you definitely gonna go and revisit the bowling options that you have and how you use them. Jadeja had an off day, and then Virat Kohli used himself and Kedar Jadhav. Is there a scene for an off spinner Ashwin to come back in the side? And that's what they're gonna revisit. But I think the overall bowling effort was very ordinary.
Oh, well, talking about bowling effort, would it be fair to say that sloppy fielding helped the cause?
It's definitely. Sometimes not bowling well, you need your fielding standard to be top notch. If I'll just revisit the Sri Lanka and South Africa game. AB de Villiers was superb, taken a brilliant catch and then run out of Chandimal, made that made the things easy for them. I think, and it's not the first game. We talked about the game against Pakistan as well. The fielding standards were not up there, and same thing happened in this game as well. When you defending, not bowling well, you have to create chances. You have to convert half chances into chances. That didn't happen in this game.
Well, talking about the bowling department, let's shift our focus to the batting department. You would be happy with the fact that openers in both the games gave India a good start, but somewhere they need to speed up the pace.
I think when you have a solid start, doesn't matter. If you look at the other teams as well, they're also taking their time in the beginning. And once you have the platform, you can make a big score from there. Remember first game, Virat Kohli and Yuvraj Singh said that they're very thankful the kind of start they got it. They gave them enough time to build an inning. They had the same sort of a start as well. You cannot expect a solid start and a fast start as well. They had the start. Let's not think that they didn't have the start. I think Virat Kohli getting out early is another setback, because this team at times look like they're more dependent on him than anyone else. At least mentally it looks like it. The others are contributing as well, but they had the start.
Talking about the start, we need to go through the depth also. Talking about Kedar Jadhav or Hardik Pandya as a lower order batsman, I think India really need to make a quick choice between them who to drop, because it seems evident from the fact that Ravichandran Ashwin needs to win the side for the big game now.
I think it's all come down to the confidence of the coach and the captain. It's not that after losing a game you think Ashwin is a must. If he's bowling well, if you think he's in a scheme of things, that he should have played from the first game onwards. We were discussing that in the first game as well by saying this, who you want to pick. No offense to Jadeja. He's contributed against Pakistan with his bowling, with his fielding as well. But in this game, not playing as a bowling all-rounder and not bowling the full quota of your overs speaks about something. Everybody knew that Sri Lankans have 4 left-handers in their top 7. And we have seen it in the past as well. When you have left-handers in the side, we're not seeing Jadeja bowling his full quota. They should have thought about that thing. If Kedar Jadhav bowling off spinners, then you definitely thought that off spinner can come handy in these kind of situations. The other thing which was a little disappointing was not to see Yuvraj Singh bowling at all. If he's injured, I can understand that. If he's not injured, then not using Yuvraj Singh is another thing. And the way you have Kohli used himself and Kedar Jadhav, you cannot, try and think about overs and not taking wickets. You should have attacked. You should have, continuously attacked, not thinking about who's going to bowl right in the end. Because if you have wickets in the hand, your main bowlers will go for the runs, and that's what happened to Bumrah. They had wickets in hand, and they had no fear. They were playing fearless cricket and put pressure on the Indian side and completed an easy win.
Well, if we consider a 1 year of Virat Kohli's tenure as a skipper, I think he has done quite well. But talking about attacking approach, do you think he was a bit defensive in his captaincy in the other game?
It's not easy. And I think, like you just mentioned, now, if you look at overall his captaincy, it's been very good. He's got a certain style of captaincy. He's somebody, who plays with a lot of aggression. I don't think so. We should start judging his captaincy with one bad game. And it happens. I mean, like, you're as good. I always believe you're as good as your team makes you look like. He had the bowling options. Sometimes how you use them is an art of a captain. But if your bowlers are off colour, then it becomes difficult and not backed by your fielding. It's a double trouble for you. But I won't judge too much or get too much into the captaincy of Virat Kohli, because he's the one. He's the one who's going to lead you for in the future as well. So not putting too much pressure on his captaincy, I think, is the individual players who needs to stand up and deliver.
Well, let's get the spotlight on today's game. It's a big match, India versus South Africa. Many would have fancied this game as possibly the biggest of this tournament so far. But talking about both of them, they both are coming into this game with a loss on their back. South Africa, they lost to Pakistan in a DLS method. India, they were thumbed down in a fashionable manner by Sri Lanka. Pressure on both the sides?
Definitely there'll be pressure on both the sides. It's a knockout sort of a game. There's no doubt about that. But both of the sides are very experienced side. I mean, like, they'll be playing on a given day, how to go about and play on that day rather than thinking about what happened a game prior to that. There's another problem for South Africa. AB de Villiers will go through a fitness test. If he's not available, although he's not made much contribution with the bat, but having him on the park in the 11, it's itself a confidence booster for South African side. If he's not playing, then there'll be a bit of an advantage for the Indian side. But I believe it's going to be another tough game for the Indian side. Their bowling looks good in these conditions. They have the batting. Indian will feel the more heat rather than the South Africans. But you always say big game. South Africans feel the pressure. I hope they feel the pressure as an Indian fan. They feel the pressure more than the Indian side and make more mistakes. That's what you when you talk about a pressure, that's what you say, that if you feel the pressure, you make more mistakes. But I still feel that this South African side looks better than the Indian side.
I think talking about previous events now, 2015 World Cup and before the 2014 T20 World Cup, South Africa and India did meet on big occasions. India came out as winners. It's become a sure shot thing that on big stages, India, they get the better of South African team. What's your thought on this?
I think that's what, if you look at the other side, you always say that come the big occasion, and South Africa is given that tag of chokers. And I think, this is a different sort of a side. There's a different look to it. And they have addressed this problem. They have talked about it that, we want to get off from this tag that it's been given to us. I mean, like, it's up to them. Go out there and play well in big games, get a victory in the big games. Nobody is going to talk about being chokers. But looking at the conditions, looking at the side, overall side, there's another plus point which goes in factor of South Africa is their standard of their fielding, which is far superior. Far superior, at least in this tournament, what we have seen from the Indian side, and that's an added advantage as far as the South Africans concerned. But big thing will be, is AB de Villiers fit and available? That'll be $1 million question as far as South Africa is concerned.
Well, Mr. Dahiya, the last time India and South Africa met each other in the bilateral series, it was all about top order of South Africa. Quinton de Kock, Hashim Amla, Faf du Plessis, AB de Villiers. The onus again would be on them to come on the big stage and perform well against Indian bowlers.
The other thing will be their bowling in this condition. Although we have seen that, if you have a full quota of overs, they are more batting friendly sort of a thing, but you have bounce here. look at the South African bowling attack. They have a top ranked spinner in their side, 3 fast bowlers, and an all-rounder in Morris. So their bowling looks very potent in these conditions as well. Batting, yeah, you just mentioned, you've taken the name. Let's not forget about Miller, who's played one superb knock. AB de Villiers is not among the runs, but he can give you one good inning, and especially in a big game like this. Yes, their batting, their bowling, their fielding, everything looks good. It's about who handle the pressure on a given day.
I think talking about batting, bowling, and fielding, I think we need to put some spotlight on the all-rounder spot. Talking about Christopher Morris, he's been one of the more improved players in couple of years. I think they would be banking a lot on him to put up runs and score runs on a higher rate lower down the order.
I think they'll be thinking about the top order, to be very honest, Gautam. If they think about Morris contributing, they want a start sort of a thing and add on to that. I mean, like if they're anywhere 270, 280, and then Morris comes in and play a cameo and take them to 340, they'll be thinking rather than on those lines, rather than thinking that Morris comes in early and then make big runs. Hashim Amla and De Kock, I think they're the best opening pair in the world right now. Any format, they're the best according to me. They'll be more dependent on them, and then people to follow after that, but they'll be looking for a good start.
Talking about India, it was an added advantage to see Mahendra Singh Dhoni coming off court. He scored 59 odd runs against Sri Lanka, but it was a well-composed innings. Has always done over the past 14 years. He's been playing quite good, and Virat Kohli would be expecting a lot from him in this big game.
I think Virat Kohli himself will be taking a lot of responsibility, to be very honest. He's the best batsman in the side. He'll be thinking more about his performance as a batsman rather than expecting something else from Mahendra Singh Dhoni. It's always good. Mahendra Singh Dhoni amongst the run is absolutely bonus. You want him. He's full of confidence, but runs, it's always that's what you need as a batsman. Nothing gives you more confidence than getting runs under your belt. Yeah, he's getting run. One good inning by Yuvraj Singh as well. Your openers are starting really well, giving you the kind of start that you want. If Virat qualifies in a big game, then this side will be a completely different side. But I still feel the heat or the pressure will be more felt by our bowlers rather than our batsmen.
Heat would be felt by the bowlers. That's evident with how they performed against Sri Lanka. But talking about South African bowlers, they've got Kagiso Rabada with them, the youngster 22-year-old who nips the ball hard, 145k. I think he would be a threat to Indian batsmen.
Absolutely, he'll be a threat. But I'll just go back. You mentioned it's not only about the game against Sri Lanka. It's the mindset. They'll be thinking about the changes. Luckily, the thing that goes in favor of India is the guys who are sitting outside as bowlers are experienced enough. If you want Mohammad Shami to come back, he's not somebody who will be feeling the pressure that I'm playing my first game. Ashwin, who's been your top-ranked bowler as well. So you have that luxury. If you go back to them, they won't be feeling the pressure of this big game that much. But yeah, you will be thinking about bowling changes. You don't have much in your batting. Maybe this game, do you feel that Karthik can back, but Kedar Jadhav didn't get enough time in the middle to judge whether you want him or not, or you want to rest one batsman and have another all-rounder coming in? You think that Ashwin isn't that all-rounder? He can come into your side. When you play in a good batting condition, you always strengthen your bowling. You think that you're playing in a good condition where your batsman will take the responsibility and have an extra bowler on your side. Coming to the South African side, it's not only about Rabada. Mane Mokel is making a comeback, and he's been very, very important for effective as well. I mean, like, look at the first game. Sri Lanka had the start. He came back, taken a wicket, and stopped the flow of the runs. Done the same in the last game as well. So they have experienced and class bowlers to follow. And sometimes what happens is that over from 15 to 35 is a very, very crucial overs. Do you have enough class in your bowling department that who can take wickets during those overs? And if you have that, then you're a better side than the others, and that's what England has shown in a couple of close games. If South Africa can do that, then they'll be a big threat.
Definitely, it's a tricky situation for both these sides. But since you mentioned Mohammad Shami earlier in this portion of interview, Mohammad Shami had have a good of Hashim Amla in past, and it's, if not anything, a half a dozen time it's got him out. Would Virat Kohli be playing on such numbers?
See, that's what the problem is now. Now, even if you want to make a change, it'll be a sort of a forced change. It's not the change that you've been thinking about. And who will you drop? Bhuvneshwar Kumar, I think he's one bowler who's so improved. These conditions suits him so much. Do you want to change Bumrah, who's done that, who's done really well? Not only, in the middle overs, in the end overs as well. How do you use him? That's another thing. One bad game, you shouldn't be even thinking about it. So who's he gonna come in place of? That'll be a big question, and you will be tinkering with your playing 11, and you're forced now. I mean, like, we were saying in the beginning, who's your best 11. If you think the guys who are already played for you and you think it's a one bad game, you still believe in them, just go ahead with the same sort of a combination. There's nothing wrong with it.
I think talking about the run chases, pardon me, the three run chases which happened 3 games back. Sri Lanka beating India, Pakistan defeating South Africa, and Bangladesh beating New Zealand. There was one thing common. Batsmen, they were rotating the strike well. This is something both these sides need to take care. Hitting cannot be the option every time.
There are a couple of different things that you need to see in these chases. I mean, if you try to rank these, the chase by Bangladesh was fantastic. They were 30 for 4, and then 2 batsmen scoring 100. And with an ease, they never give New Zealand a chance in the game. That was fantastic. The other, there was 260 only. There wasn't a big score in nowadays when we talk about 300 plus is being chased easily because there is a plan. Even if you don't lose wicket early, there is so much T20 cricket going on that, even if you want to chase 160, 170, 180 wickets in hand in last 20 overs, you always feel you are in the game. And that's how teams are breaking these 50-over brackets and playing very smartly. Even if you don't make much runs in first 10 overs but don't lose wicket, you can always come back in middle overs and compensate for that slow run rate and have wickets in hand. You can double the score what you make in 30 overs.
Well, apart from the fast bowlers, both these sides have got decent fast bowlers in their ranks. But there would be something for spinners to do, given the fact the match is happening at the Kia Oval, which has the history of assisting spinners a bit in the end, not maybe initially. So onus would be a bit on Imran Tahir and Ravindra Jadeja to make early breakthroughs also.
I think Jadeja will feel the pressure, to be very honest. And Indian team management will also feel a little bit of a thing that, do you want to go with Jadeja or you want to change? Not bowling full quota of overs in the last game will be playing on his mind. There's no doubt about that. Tahir is a class act. I mean, whatever conditions, he's been superb, ranked a #1 bowler in the world. He's done that. The good thing that goes in favor of Tahir is that when he comes to bowl, there are a couple of wickets down, and then that's where his job becomes easy. But not taking anything away from him, give full credit to him. The way he bowls, the liner length, the confidence is so evident. And the way AB de Villiers is able to use him, he's using him as a strike bowler. He's not using him as somebody coming in and bowling a couple of overs. We have seen that with Jadeja. Captain Virat has used him that, he can come in a couple of overs when there is a chance for you to bowl a couple of quick overs. But Tahir has been used completely in a different manner, and he produced the result that what his captain was expected out of him.
Well, before we wrap up, let's just roll back the clock and have a word regarding something. Under Mahendra Singh Dhoni's captaincy, it used to be Ashwin Jadeja combination in tandem, which used to put pressure, and the other one used to take wickets. I think Virat Kohli, he might have to seek some advice from the ex-captain.
I think it's pretty evident. I mean, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, he's not the captain, but still, if you see, I mean, it's absolutely visible. The both of them having a lot of chat. Both of them talking about the field placement, about the bowling changes as well. It's about the condition as well, and it's about the team combination. Can you have 2 spinners in your side in these kind of condition? Like I said, you can if your top order batsmen start taking responsibility, and both of them can chip in with the bat as well. Ashwin can chip in with his bat as well. But do you have that sort of a confidence in Ashwin? I think there's something that he's not played IPL. He's coming back after a break. Maybe the team management feel that whatever he's bowling in the practice game or in the nets is not giving them that much of a confidence that he's the same Ashwin they wanna put on the park. But come a big game, you have to take some bold decisions, and if they feel that that's the combination can work for him, they can still put both of them on the park together.
Thank you for mentioning IPL in this. Virat Kohli, AB de Villiers on the same track in RCB, they would be knowing each other's game, their weaknesses, strengths. You expect one of them to be taking the better of the other in this crucial clash.
I think both of them are class act. There's no doubt about that. But if you mention IPL, I think this IPL, both of them would like to forget. Yeah, absolutely. As players, as a team, Virat as a captain, they didn't do much at all. Expectations were so high looking at their side, but both of them absolutely they know each other's game inside out. There's no doubt about that. But a big game, that's where the true colors of champions come out. That's where they wanted to take responsibility and show, not to the world, show themselves also that why so much of expectations are there from us. So both of them will be feeling that sort of a responsibility. I won't say pressure. Both of them are feeling that responsibility that we have to deliver for us, for our side, for our country, and for the fans.
Last two questions, Mr. Dahiya. I think I would be starting with a penultimate one. You said India might go for the forced change of asking Ravichandran Ashwin to be in. What would be your lineup for today's game?
I think I say force, but he's somebody I would have put him in the park from the game one. Unless until something is there that we don't know, and it's definitely there's something that we don't know. Team management, if he's bowling well, why would they put him on the bench? They will definitely put him on the park. There is definitely a case for him to be in the side. You have to strengthen your bowling department. I won't play too much with the batting. There's not much scope. So if he comes in, do you take a chance with Kedar Jadhav, make him go out and put more pressure on the batting department? But the other problem is that you're playing against a side whose bowling department looks really good. So and if you go back, I mean, like we normally used to strengthen our batting rather than our bowling. So that's going to be a problem. Mahendra Singh Dhoni getting runs, Yuvraj getting some runs, openers are giving you the start that you want. Virat Kohli will take that sort of a responsibility. I'll add another bowler to this playing 11.
No changes to South Africa squad.
If AB is fit, I don't think so. There's nobody sitting out who's claiming to be in the playing 11. They will go with the same side.
India are the defending champions and they would do all to beat South Africa on the result of the game.
Even if they're not the defending, they will give their best. There's no doubt about that. It's a knockout sort of a game. Indians will feel a little bit the pinch here because they had the opportunity to take 4 and sitting pretty, but they will definitely feel the pressure. And for me, start of the game, I give 55-45, 55 to South Africa. According to me, they are a better side than India.
Well, Vijay Dahiya, he has given his point 55-45 to South Africa. I think he said India would be the one who would be taking the heat, who would be taking the pressure, but they are the defending champions. Let's not forget, they are the champions. They have done it in past and they can do it this time round also. The third match of both these sides will start in a short while from now, and we all can hope of a cracker of a game, and 1.3 billion people could hope that India get the better of South Africa and be the second side or possibly the first side from this group to rope into the semi-final. I would thank Mr. Vijay Dahiya for joining us on SportsWiki. It's always a pleasure. And if India goes on, we would have a lot of surprises waiting for you. Thank you for joining us on SportsWiki.